All right, we've got one of our experts in startups and fundraising, and his name is Robert Manasier. Robert, did I get your name right?
You were close, Hugh. It's Robert Manasier.
Manasier. I'm getting there, Robert. I'm getting there.
It's all good, brother. It's all good.
How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good, good. Robert, I know you've raised hundreds of millions of dollars for different businesses. You are a business flipper. You are a industry leader in incubating. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Bob Manasier or Robert Manasier. I've founded, grown, scaled, and exited 170 companies around the globe with my team and I. We don't consult. We actually deploy teams into situations to build out the infrastructure or to improve the infrastructure and the processes to get to an exit or to get to fundraising.
Okay. All right. So you're not just consulting, you're actually taking ownership in the business itself.
Or some kind of managerial leadership position with a
Okay.
company to kind of manifest the change and transformations.
All right, beautiful. So, Robert, if someone that is a novice or even intermediate or expert is wanting to get into industry today, obviously AI mania is going crazy. But that's not the only industry out there. There's other people still got to eat. People still are active and doing other things. What else is there? What's a good trend for someone to get in? Not just AI.
Yeah, so we research markets all the time. We've been really focused on media, small business finance and funding, clean tech, and we have a big focus on US manufacturing.
Okay. What's clean tech, Robert?
Clean tech are the technologies to take us to a sustainable future. So clean energy, any technologies, EVs, a clean tech, supposedly. We're more focused on the hydrogen side of new technology because I think it plays well to the US consumer and the way we drive and our habits versus the European where EV works better. So, we're pretty deep into technologies that are going to change the planet or hopefully for the foreseeable future, make us sustainable and green.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that most people don't realize is what is the carbon footprint left after the EV actually goes with the batteries. And the US power grid system is really not capable, or not, I wouldn't say capable, but it's not ready for a full EV deployment. That's why they're trying to scatter it out, sparse it, and be able to slowly ease it into the US. But the power grid's still not ready.
No, and I mean, the US is just obviously much larger than any single country in Europe. And we have a lot of variables that affect EV. One is our habit of driving, or our commute is much longer than in other nations. And we have a lot of temperature variation. So that affects the EV efficiency.
Yeah, I think the other part of it is the psychology of what U.S. attitude towards EV compared to Europeans are is a little bit different, and it's changing. But I think Europeans may be a little bit ahead on that compared to where the U.S. Is right now.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of developments and progress that we have to make in that, right?
Right, that's
We're
exactly
at the
right.
early stages of a new technology.
That's exactly right. Now, these are some big industries that you've mentioned. Someone that is wanting to get into these industries, one of the biggest part is, I need money. Where do I get money? How do I get money? What do I have to do to get money? Fundraising. I mean, you've raised it. You know who it is. I'm sure people have come to you to borrow money. As you mentioned, one of your industries is doing lending. How does somebody get it?
Yeah, so our first advice to anybody is don't raise money, get clients first. And obviously, in some technologies, especially high technologies and a lot of the clean tech, you need to build something to prove the concept. So you
Okay.
need money. And there's a lot of grants and there's academic money out there, and there's workforce development and economic development places you can get money for the development of a technology. But if you're creating a small business or an entrepreneurial endeavor, and you don't need the equipment, go out and try to get a paying client first, because that changes your perspective on what the business has to be. And that goes a long way to raising money later. So my first advice is always, if you can, go get a paying client before you ever think about raising money, because that's going to change what your company is. And if you can't do that, go interview who you think your customers are. because
Right.
then you're going to learn a lot in that before you ever put a pitch deck together and go out in front of investors.
Okay. And I think that's one thing we've talked before is someone that is not just a consultant that has actually lived and gone through the process or entrepreneurship and been able to not think of it as a concept, but actually has gone through the steps of it, correct?
Yeah. And also, if you're asking people for money, you better be the expert in the room on that business. And if you've never done it, how can you be the expert?
That's right.
And that's what investors, and that's what we ask, like, walk me through the customer journey. What is the cycle to get to a sale? If you don't know those if you don't have metrics to back that up,
right,
who's going to give you money?
Yeah. No, that's absolutely right. Yeah. Unless you go to mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, right?
Yeah, they didn't
Which
give
is
me any
possible.
money.
I'm sure there's some people that do it, but
They never gave me any money, Hugh.
Me neither, unfortunately. So, Robert, tell me in 5 steps or less, someone that is wanting to get into the industry and be able to take from concept to fruition, a step-by-step, step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on, to be able to gain success.
So I say 1 is research, right? You need to be macro and micro research on the industry you're looking at. You have to understand trends. You have to understand technology. You have to get a sense of a jargon to the industry, and then use that to join associations or memberships in that industry. And that's part of like 2 and 3, which is networking. You got to build your network in the industry. Your network makes you or makes your future. So
you're saying 2 and 3 is building, not only educating yourself, but is also being able to network and be able to, I guess you would say, rub elbows with the right people.
Yeah, and then go to where all those people are, right? If whatever industry it is, the people that run those businesses and are in that industry all have the same habits. Go to those locations, go to those expos. Like you have to immerse yourself in the industry. And then depending on where you are in your life, apply to a low-level job, a lower level or entry-level job to get understanding of the industry, or get an internship. Because if you haven't done it, you might not even like it. Yeah. And that's the other thing about it. I love internships for any age because it tells you not only what you want, but also what you never want to do again.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think there's a lot of kids that come out of college and they're like, there's no way in hell I want to do this.
And then they're stuck, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Robert, tell me in 30 seconds or less what you think your company can do for our entrepreneurs, how they contact you, and how they can align themselves with you.
And all of our relationships start with a deep conversation, right? And that's it, because we have to make sure we're good for you and you're good for our system, because we have a very set system of how we build things. You can find me on LinkedIn. There's only 2 of us with the same name. I'm the older one with the picture. That's the easiest way. You can see all our companies there, or you can go to First Strike Incubator, which is our new U.S. manufacturing and hard goods system for inventors.
All right, wonderful. Robert, thank you so much for your time and being a guest on the show. I look forward to having you back sometime soon and tell us what the new trends are and what else we can do to be able to help grow our business.
My pleasure, Hugh. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.